Hello, my beautiful ladies. I've had several women ask me if I am not a natural saver. What are some different ways that I can start to build that habit of learning how to save and to start to build abundance and to start to build wealth? So today I want to talk about how to rewire your mindset to save money. And I'm going to share things that I did, especially in my building phase, because I was not a natural saver. I was good at budgeting up front, but I did have this period in my life where I had saved. And these are in my teenage years, so it wasn't a lot at the time. But had that habit, and then in my 20s, I kind of went on a spending splurge and got myself into trouble, but I didn't have that balance, and I think that's key. So I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that we as women need money. And I believe anyone who tells us otherwise is doing a disservice to us. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that end up, if you choose to have a family, we're the ones that have the baby. We have additional medical and health expenses. And we have, different hormones and different biology, and it requires money. And also, if you're in a relationship, sometimes it can cause a power dynamic struggle. And so I feel like in order for us to really step into our personal power, our true personal power, and to have a fulfilled life, that includes having healthy finances. I've personally experienced this as well. And I just believe, I talk about feminine energy on my channel. And in order for feminine energy to show itself, it has to feel safe. And I believe to my core that one of the ways we as women can feel safe is to have a growing bank account, a growing savings account, and to fill that abundance. So what were some ways that I rewired my mindset in order to save money? So the first was educating myself. I did take a couple of classes in college, but to be honest, doing kind of the siloed classes, I learned some of the formulas, but then I didn't use them. So it was helpful to have that, in my tool belt, so to speak. But, there are articles that are out there on Yahoo Finance. There are classes. You can look on Coursera and free things, or classes that maybe, are more affordable if you're just starting out. Also look at books. Here's the thing, guys. I've heard people say, oh, well, I feel like people are keeping it a secret on what they do in order to build wealth. And I disagree. I believe that there are so many of us now that have gone through the life lessons and the learning lessons. And so many people who started with nothing have written books, guys. And books are a way to have mentorship. If you do not have a mentor in your life, I believe books, people pass down their knowledge. People pass down what they learned and how they went, from nothing to, having abundance and finances. So, you can look on Yahoo Finance, you can look at courses, a couple of books, and I'll put some links down in the description below. The Automatic Millionaire is a good one. Smart Women Finish Rich. So ladies, it is on us. Yes, it's great if you find a life partner that has that strength, but I believe as women, we need to be developing at least like the base foundation, right, of understanding finances, even if it doesn't come naturally. And so educating myself was the first way. The second way, and this was when I was a beginner in my building phase, Dave Ramsey. So if you haven't heard of Dave Ramsey, and again, I'll put all the links in the description box that I mentioned, he has something called a debt-free scream. And I watch, these are people sharing their experience and what they did on their road and journey of becoming debt-free. And guys, I watched these debt-free screams for a year and a half, just reinforcing those stories, reinforcing being in the presence of people that are saving, just helps you really get into that zone. At least it did for me. So yes, I watched those for a year and a half, and that was one way that I helped rewire my mindset. Another YouTuber that's a female, I really love her. Her name is Sugar Mama, and her idea is, you know, instead of having a sugar daddy, just be your own sugar mama and, you know, find ways to take care of yourself, which is very much aligned in what I believe in my channel. She has something called the $1,000 Project. So I actually did the $1,000 project, and that was one way that helped me start to build those habits of saving and getting clear on what I was saving for. So the Dave Ramsey Debt-Free Scream, and also look at his baby steps, are helpful as well. The Sugar Mama $1,000 project was helpful. So that's beginner. Then moving to the next level. So once you have educated yourself, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, and so these are just resources that I found helpful and I enjoyed. So the next level, there's a guy named Ramit, I may not be pronouncing this correctly, Ramit Sethi. He has a Netflix show called How to Be Rich. He also has a podcast. And so just listening to the podcast, you can listen to the podcast on your commute to work, on your commute to, dropping off kids, or your commute to going to the grocery store, running errands, just any time to start reinforcing and being around people who are doing the things that you are wanting to do. Being in their presence. So I feel like you do need to have a baseline understanding before you get to Ramit, but he really helps people now that you're making money. How do you tell it where to go? And so that's different than, starting more at the beginner level where you're really, in that building phase and starting to build up from the ground up. This is more, okay, you're building and you've found ways and you've developed skills and you're making the money, but for some reason you can't hold on to it, or it keeps leaving and you don't know how and where it went. And it's also, I find him helpful because a couple of people that he interviews are couples. So if you're looking to build wealth on your own and you're not in a relationship, you can still follow all the steps that I talked about. If you're in a relationship and you're wanting to develop better money habits, he interviews several couples that have struggles that I think a lot of us have had, or if you haven't, you will. And you get to watch and see how they come up with a resolution and how they find ways to come together, even though one might be more the spender and the free spirit, whereas the other one might be more of the savings mindset and more, I think Dave Ramsey calls it gazelle intense. So how do those two people come together and help, build wealth and build abundance together? So I hope these are helpful for you. And I guess another thing that you could do as well is hire a financial advisor and ask people, find people in your network who are good with money or who love talking about money, and ask them, hey, do you know anybody that's a financial advisor that you trust? Getting that help, setting up those savings vehicles and learning how to create those habits, guys, it is life-changing. It was life-changing for me. And just those daily habits or those weekly habits, I found compounds over time. And I want all women to feel healed. I want all women to feel safe. And I truly believe with all my heart that Having a fulfilled life with finances is a big piece, ladies. And I would not dismiss it. And so don't skip this piece as you're working to have a fulfilled life. All right, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope this was helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.